What's up, folks? You are tuned into the Failing Frequency. I am Ethan,
Mike.
and we like talking about Star Trek.
We do. And what are we covering this week?
Oh, we got lots of news. We got lots of news.
Yeah.
We got some sad news. We got some happy news. We got some real world news. We got some fluff. And then we're going to be talking about the next series of Star Trek Picard, which debuts in 1 week's time, Mike.
A week today.
Yeah,
Seems to have come around real quick. We've had a couple of weeks, all of January and then last week as well, where we were like, how are we ever going to fill like this amount of time? And the answer, we did two episodes of Conspiracy Trek.
of nonsense.
And then I was far too bloody busy to do anything else.
Hey man, that's what you get for having a real job, Mike.
Yeah, that's how they get me.
But before we get into any of that, man, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. As we were just alluding to, I've been exceptionally busy last while, so I've been half asleep, but now I'm half awake again. I've had an easy week this one, so
nice.
Easy week, and looking forward to the weekend. Got a couple of things planned for the weekend that are actually enjoyable for once, so that's all right.
Nice. Yeah, you sent me a pic. I'm good. I'm down in the living room of the house. I'm living in domestic bliss with my partner. And my location for these recordings keeps changing.
It does.
Currently,
we're getting a real tour of the house, aren't we?
Mate, currently I am down on the ground floor. So my partner is way up in the top bedroom for when their son comes to visit, to create the most amount of space between the two of us.
Yep.
Because apparently I'm loud.
Who knew?
Fuck off. Fucking loud. Listen, I'm passionate.
Yeah.
Passionate.
Until I do the levels, and then I take your passion down just half a notch.
I mean, you can do your best.
Yeah.
You can do your best to dull this passion.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Good.
Whatever.
Then. Good.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Fine.
Whatever. It's like we're getting a house tour, so
I've got all this room for activities and being loud.
Yeah.
I just know tomorrow morning they're just gonna be like, God, you are so loud. Like, I'll tell you what, why don't I just fucking record outside next week?
Yeah.
And then the neighbors.
This is the trouble. You don't have like a curtain right in front of you as well. This time, which you had last time, that was taking some of the sound, and not this time.
Nope.
No.
Whatever. Shall we get into it?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Okay. So as always, whenever there's sad news, we knock that one out first. I think it was last week, maybe the week after. I think it was just after we last recorded.
Yeah.
Was reported the sad passing of Annie Wersching, who of course played the Borg Queen in season 2 of Picard. Very sad. She had apparently been diagnosed with cancer in 2020, kept it to herself, and obviously lost that battle in January 2023. 45, man, that fucking sucks.
Not old, is it? Yeah, that is not a fair run at it. 45,
No. No, and just going through her filmography.
Her first role. What is her first role?
First role, Star Trek Enterprise episode Oasis. She played Liana.
Yeah. First role. Crazy. And almost the last role. I think she did something after.
Absolutely. And yeah, it looks like she had a fair crack at a few series. She did like one episode of just about every fucking TV show in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
We got Frasier, Angel, Charmed, Killer Instinct, Out of Practice, Cold Case, fucking Boston Legal, Supernatural. 24, she was in a few episodes of 24. She was in fucking, pardon me, that Dallas reboot. She's in all kinds of shit. She was in the one and only episode of Birds of Prey.
Really?
Yeah.
And it's a hard job being they call it journeyman performers, don't they? Where you don't have a permanent role anywhere really, because
No.
you're always hunting for a job. You're always having to try and get into it, what a new character, the core of that character is. So the people who can do it are often very skilled at that role.
Yeah.
Mm.
Working class actors.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like there was at any point like any like extended time when she wasn't working really. So hardworking actor.
Yep.
Um, oh my god, she was woman at party in Bruce Almighty.
Wow.
Crazy.
How would you land that harder role?
I mean, I guess it's a vibe thing.
You're going to be a party woman.
Yeah. I thoroughly enjoyed her as the Borg Queen.
Yeah.
I love the Borg Queen. Weirdly sexual. Um,
Yeah.
I think she and in the role, she definitely did the most with the least amount of limbs.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Certainly up there, for second best Borg Queen, really. Because there's the
Mm,
main one from First Contact, and then there's the fill-in one
absolutely.
from Voyager, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had like something. It was more interesting. It was a lot more
Oh yeah.
interesting because like there was something going on behind the eyes. There was
Mm.
cogs ticking, and that really came through in the performance, even through all the makeup and
Yeah.
stuff.
Mm.
So yeah, sad times.
Sad times. Will be missed.
Ah!
Yeah. But on to less depressing news, maybe.
I mean, slightly less depressing. It's the return of our old friend Paramount Plus.
Oh yeah.
Paramount Plus is going to be resorbing Showtime like a congenital twin,
Yeah.
integrating it into itself, like Tetsuo just sucking up teenagers at the end of Akira. Um, we've got Variety reporting through a leaked internal memo. Last year, almost 1 year ago, we announced that Viacom CBS would become Paramount, harnessing the power of our combined portfolio to become one integrated company. Blah,
Mm-hmm.
blah, 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 blah. In the same spirit, I'm thrilled to share the next step in our company's evolution. Today, we're announcing that we will be fully integrating Showtime into Paramount Plus across both streaming and linear platforms later this year. What does that mean, linear platform?
I think it is direct TV, so that isn't, that's not streaming. The opposite of streaming.
That's just TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't sound cool. It doesn't have a
No.
vibe to it.
And speaking of not sounding cool, isn't the name of this new streaming service Paramount Plus with Showtime? Or is it just Paramount Plus and Showtime? So they haven't combined
The
them.
linear network will become Paramount Plus with Showtime in
Yeah.
block caps.
That's
So it's
terrible.
so it's Paramount Plus with Showtime.
I know both are brands that you probably want to keep around, but having both of them like that, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't like
I mean,
it.
what
But
do
yeah.
they even have? What does Showtime have?
Well, this is the thing. In the US, it's separate, and you used to be able to buy them as bundles, so Paramount Plus and Showtime as a bundle. Over here, I think it's just all on Paramount Plus. Kind of like how
Okay.
Disney Plus and Stars in the US.
Yeah.
So, like Yellow Jackets and Yellowstone and other shows with yellow in the title, I think are
Mm,
Showtime in the States, but over here they're just on Paramount Plus.
Right. So we got Dexter, Shameless, Homeland, Ray Donovan. Pretty sure those are mostly available on other platforms here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not going to get that Dexter prequel now, they're saying, isn't it?
Yeah, what the fuck is that? Whatever.
Yeah. It's just going to
Big
be...
who cares?
It can only really be, what's his name, his dad showing him how to kill and stuff like that, can't it? Which they kind of did anyway with the last season of Dexter.
And also, like, they'll just make it like so it's not actually that bad.
Yeah.
They'll fucking nerf the serial killer aspect of him. Yeah. Whatever. Anyway, on to fucking enough of that recurring villain, and on to the second recurring villain, with some more news about the long dead Star Trek IV project. So Matt Shakman,
director or showrunner of WandaVision, and now doing...
Yes.
What is he doing? He's doing Fantastic Four nowadays?
Doing Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Keep hold of that. The Wrap reports in an interview, Matt Shakman said, "I had a great time working on Star Trek for a little over a year, working closely with J.J. Abrams and everyone at Paramount. And I love that franchise. And I love that cast. And now everyone loves each other. Love, 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 love. But movies have different journeys and momentums. And schedules are a little bit mercurial. And so when the Fantastic Four opportunity came up, it was just too hard to pass up, and to go back home to Marvel, a place that I worked on WandaVision at with those people who are wonderful collaborators." So that's an interesting choice of words there. People's schedules are a little bit mercurial.
Well, they couldn't get... The cast didn't
Anyone.
know. They were apparently scheduled for it.
Just everyone saying,
how harsh is it, though? Like, I know the first season of Discovery, and maybe I don't know if it was the first or second season of Picard or both, they had a showrunner and then they were handed off to someone else to run after already doing like 50% of the development plus. And you go, oh, it's a shame people can't stay on, and we get one person's vision then. Like we'll hopefully get
WandaVision.
But then you see stuff like this where a guy's been working on it for a year, and that's just one of the Star Trek 4s. There's been multiple projects of it. And he's like, this isn't going at any sort of pace. I need to leave.
Yeah, and he gets the call from Marvel, and they're like, "Do you want to come make Fantastic Four?" And he's like, "Abso-friggin-lutely."
Yeah.
I'm very fucking suspicious of when he says he's working closely with J.J. Abrams. I don't believe that. He was doing Star Wars for a million years.
Yeah, but it's JJ's production company, whatever it is, Bad Robot, that has the right of first refusal, I think, to all the Star Trek films now, or at least for a good while. So you'd have to be buddies with JJ.
Well, clearly it just wasn't going anywhere. The whole cast being like, "Yeah, I'd totally be up for it." Okay, so when are you free? No time soon.
How much you decided to pay me?
Yeah.
Yeah. We've got a contract that says you'll pay me this, and last time you offered me a portion of that.
Yeah. Now I'm worth this much.
Yeah.
So yeah, he made some comparisons between Fantastic Four and Star Trek. They're both about optimism and looking to the stars and technology, and your wife cheating on you with a fishman.
Yeah.
I can kind of see that. I definitely hope that the Fantastic Four movie is kind of TOS-y.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to retro futurism.
Everyone's been saying for a good while, haven't they, that you need to do a retro-y Fantastic Four, and why don't you just set it in the 70s or whatever? And I don't necessarily think we'll get a 70s movie, but it'd be nice to have that sort of story back. Optimism.
Yeah, set it in the 60s. In the 60s, Have you seen the previews for Hello Tomorrow?
I have.
Give it that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Make the Fantastic Car look like a flying Cadillac.
Yeah. What do they call it?
And then bring it to the future.
What's that sort of thing like BioShock, and what's that art style where it's BioShock or Portal or like what you're talking about there, the Apple TV show?
Retrofuturism.
Is it just retrofuturism? Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then yeah, why not? Please.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
Mm.
Spaceships and quiffs.
Yeah.
Oh man, Anson Mount would be a good Mr. Fantastic.
He's got the grey.
He would be great for it.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think Mr. Fantastic's a bit of a bastard as well, and I know
is he
probably can.
I know
be.
He's a fucking cuck.
Yeah. But like, although he would be a bastard, but he might have a scene where it's him and 500 other ants and mounts in a room. Maybe that would be worth it.
Is he a bastard in the sense of like, he did it for science?
Yeah, he's a bastard in that. Occasionally he'll do stuff that is completely immoral. What's the bad guy's name out of Watchmen, where he starts a war to prevent or
Ozymandias.
Ozymandias. He kills a load of people to prevent a war. Some versions of Mr. Fantastic would do that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And there's like that multiverse, because he's very multiversal Fantastic, Mr. Fantastic. So there are versions of him with the Infinity Gauntlet that are just gone bad.
Right.
So,
yeah. Okay. Don't trust the stretchy guy. He's got a speculum. In good news. Finally, we'll get to some good news. Good news. And this is actually fucking sick news. Star Trek Prodigy Season 2, Chapter 1, Verse 1 will be coming to screens this year, 2023.
Yeah.
Can you Adam and Steve it?
My only hope is that it's 20 episodes in a run, and it's not going to be the first half of a season again. It's not going to do 10 episodes and then leave it for a year and a half and then come back again.
Mike, we are going to get 5 episodes. That's what I reckon. No. We're gonna get 2.5 episodes 1 week. Then a month later, we'll get the other half of an episode. Then 2 months later, we'll get an episode. Then we'll get them every week.
Yeah.
For a couple of weeks.
It's just they should have just called them seasons and structured them like that. The physical media, the DVD or Blu-rays or whatever of Prodigy Season 1 have started to come. And they are Prodigy Season 1, Chapter 1. So it's that first 10 episodes rather than the full 20, which is ridiculous.
Well, they've said here, nice. He's got the bathtub plum liqueur.
Whoa.
Nice. So they've said, so Ben Hibon said that production was in full swing with different episodes of the 20-episode season at different stages of completion. But at the time, they were already doing the final mix on the first 2 episodes. So maybe we will actually get like a structured week-to-week 20 episodes, because they are currently working, if not have finished, a majority of them, but they've worked on all of the episodes rather than presumably doing chapters at a time.
Yeah. And it's hard really, because they clearly have less budget than Bad Batch. Bad Batch has fewer episodes. But Bad Batch as well took more than a year to come out with a second season. So you're like,
Yeah, I'm not digging this season of Bad Batch. A lot of the episodes have just been a bit fucking fillery.
Yeah, I didn't like first season. The last 2 episodes were all right. If you've seen the most recent 2.
Yeah, the most recent two are very good.
Yeah. They're the only ones worth watching this season.
Pretty much. There was that one episode where you're following the fucking the sniper guy getting up to some being a dodgy cunt.
Yeah. Captain Black from Captain Scarlet.
He is like Captain Black.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice one. Prodigy season 2 this year. Who'd have fucking thunk it? You a fan of Jimmy Kimmel?
Yeah, enough.
He's all right. Well, Eddie Murphy was on Jimmy Kimmel promoting his new movie, You People, which kind of looks like a Netflix reboot of Look Who's Coming to Dinner.
Yeah.
But for the whites. Oh, how hard it must be to be a white man marrying a black woman.
Well, before we move off You People, have you seen, I only saw it today, like saw the news story on it or whatever. There's a final kiss in it, and the kiss is CGI between the two main characters.
Yeah, I saw something about that. Like, what the? Okay.
And all the reviews, all the comments are saying like, oh, I'm surprised it was just this because they had no chemistry during the film. So I'm desperate to watch it just to see this film with no chemistry.
I'm surprised Jonah Hill wasn't completely CGI'd into the film entirely.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
No, the only person he's ever had on-screen chemistry with is the kid from Arrested Development and Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, Eddie Murphy was on Kimmel, and he's, I've heard it said around town. I've heard word on the street that Eddie Murphy was offered the role of the whale person, not like a whale person, but like the human that likes whales.
Yeah.
In Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home, but he said the reason as to why. And I quote, yeah, you know which one it was. I don't. It was the one where they go to San Francisco and they get the whales. I was gonna be the one that they met when they got to San Francisco, and I was like, no, I want to go and beam up and be on the ship, so I didn't do it. He wanted to be crew.
Yeah. I mean, it would have made that romance between Kirk and him interesting.
Well, apparently it would have been more of a Spock and Eddie thing, because he goes on to say, yeah, they had me talking jive to Spock, which I actually think would have been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's the 80s, it's the height of, Eddie Murphy and that whole, black people are like this, white people are like this.
And it is a comedy film anyway, Voyage.
And like Spock is like the whitest man on Earth or in space. It would have been fun.
Yeah.
Seeing Eddie Murphy call Spock a turkey.
Yeah. Instead of because he picks up, doesn't he, during the film, like Kirk's euphemisms or whatever, like double dumbass. Instead of picking up all them, he can just pick up whatever Eddie Murphy puts down.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be great seeing Kirk say motherfucker. Or a whole bunch of homophobic slurs. Honestly, it's so sad. So sad going back and rewatching comedy that I watched in my youth.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy's Raw. I was always like, oh man, it's classic. And then I rewatched it and I was like, oh my God, I couldn't even make it through the first like 20 minutes. Oh my God.
Yeah.
But it's fine because
change.
You just skip to the last joke when he's doing an impression of his drunk dad. That's the funniest thing in the whole show. Yeah. Past all the homophobic shit. So we got Jonathan Frakes spilling some beans, shaking beans all around the room in an interview with SFX magazine. It was such a treat for me because it is a flat out comedy, full on. And they're fearless over there. They take some really big swings on Strange New Worlds. They're animated at the beginning, and at the end.
Yeah, so this is him talking about the crossover, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, spoiler
Crossover.
warning.
Yeah.
It's a clever and simple product. It's not really. They keep saying it's not going to be like Roger Rabbit. Like, yeah, we know it's not going to be. Like, there's no way that you would do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, whatever. So apparently, it's gonna. So it's gonna be. It's gonna be bookended, animated style, like Lower Decks.
Yeah.
Where did we end the series on Lower Decks?
We had the new science officer join. Boimler was still Bold Boimler. The Texas class was destroyed, and it was all the California classes together. So like they're now the king of the California class.
Okay, cool. So, like, I think we're gonna maybe get like a mini continuation of their storyline, kind of like how we got like that Mandalorian episode in the middle of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Krabby's has gone down 0.5%.
How dare they? Sign of the times.
am
It's like shrinkflation, isn't it? If you want, you can pour some 45% Schlivol in it.
Hey man, that would be nice in this.
Dunno.
I am so angry I could spit. What were we talking about?
The crossover.
Oh, yeah. The crossover, yeah. So this is gonna be fun. It's a balls out comedy episode.
With everyone's balls out.
Yeah. You know, we got Jack Quaid, son of we've got Jack, son of Dennis of House Quaid. Who, you know, he did a lot of improv comedy. Got Tawny Newsome, she's done a lot of improv comedy.
Yeah. From my understanding, it's only them heading into the past or whatever, which is a bit of a shame. Because, you know, they are not my favorite characters in that show. My favorite characters are the other two.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's going to be bookended, so it's going to, you know, we're probably going to get a bit at the start with, like, you know, Boimler and Newsome, Boimler and
Tendi,
Mariner.
Mariner.
Boimler and Mariner going through a fucking cupboard full of Easter eggs, and they're going to go, oh, what's this? And then he's going to, you know, drop it, and he's going to be like, oh, my foot. And he's going to press a button, and they're going to get zapped back.
Yeah.
And then they're going to be like, oh, no, this is like 20 minutes before that terrible thing happened. We have to make sure it still happens.
Yeah.
I could write for Star Trek. Easy.
I mean, I think you just wrote the episode there. You know, if they haven't already filmed it, they should take pointers.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we got Anson's a wonderful comedian, very dry, but so's Rebecca. It encouraged Ethan, that's me, and everyone. There were just a lot of positives that came out of them having the guts to do a full-on comedy, let alone a crossover with an animated show. Yeah, I mean, there's been some full-on comedy episodes of Star Trek.
Yeah.
You know, the Magnificent Ferengi is fucking hilarious.
Most of the Ferengi episodes are comedies, aren't they, really?
Yeah. That bit where they're fucking puppeting a zombie Vorta. Like, this is so dark.
Yeah. Weekend at Bernie'sing him. Yeah.
We got some slice of life news. We got some bit of slice of life news.
What's happening in Slice of Life?
Slice of life. If you go on down to the world's oldest mouse in human care is a tiny critter living at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park. 9 years and 210 days. Little Pat, named after Patrick Stewart, is the oldest mouse in human care.
Yeah. Named after, so probably the oldest mouse, let's be honest.
Yeah, the oldest mouse. Much like Patrick Stewart, the oldest man on Earth.
Yeah.
Also in human care.
Yes. Yeah.
Uh,
That's why he
um,
married his wife.
yeah, she's his human.
Yeah, his carer
Uh,
certainly.
yeah. It's a first for the Guinness World Records, which previously had no category for world's oldest mouse.
If I knew that, I could have got the world's greatest, oldest mouse. Being his handler and just picked up a mouse, wrote to them, and been like, "This is the oldest mouse. Prove me
uh,
wrong."
well, um, hold on. Um, Guinness World's Record adjudicator Michael Emprick said there may be old mice, but they don't have birth certificates, unlike this one does. So you've also got to forge a birth certificate.
A very small one,
Yeah, tiny little mouse birth certificate.
yeah,
Human care, more like human captivity.
indeed.
Mm.
Let it run
A
free.
slave. Do you know what? Do you know what he's doing there? He's
Experiments.
he's a breeder.
Oh,
They're using him for his body.
I mean, I'll sign up for that. Not
Hey man.
really. No, it's a
Hey.
terrible existence for those animals. They get pumped for more than information.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's slavery. You
Yeah.
know, they drain them. They drain them to make more little mices, and then
Mm.
they stick them in a wheel to power the lights.
I bet he wishes
Uh,
he was one of these mice being, administered arthritis drugs, being tested on them as well. This
I
poor
bet
old mouse.
I bet he wishes he had a fucking opportunity. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? To fucking to get out of there,
Mm.
to take the fucking
Yeah.
easy way out.
Yeah.
I wish him all the best.
Mm. Go get that
Um,
cheese.
yeah, mate, go get that
Mm.
cheese in the sky.
Yeah.
You'll get no judgment from me, my friend.
No.
Poor little fucking slave mouse.
Mm.
Stood.
Thanks.
um. So in
Should
an
we go?
update,
Yeah, I was
in
going
an
to say,
update,
continue with the real world news.
yeah, mate, in an update, to some really stupid news from a couple of weeks ago. So when we did the Roswell episode, I shared with Mike a video of some balls that were going around TikTok, some
And then
balls in the
later on, he
sky.
showed me some other, balloons.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, fucking. So there was some balls going around in the sky. There was videos of them all around TikTok, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, it's aliens." Um,
Yeah.
and Mike, what was your response?
The balloons.
Hey, I was like, could
Mm.
be. Turns out,
They
that
were
Mike was
balloons.
right.
Yeah.
It was a fucking balloon. Not only was it a balloon, but it was a fucking Chinese spy balloon.
Yeah.
Man, a UFO has never been more globally destabilizing.
Yeah. And shot down, wasn't there, last week? And
Yep.
F-22 waited until it was not over the US, considering it was the size of 3 school buses, something like that, and then shot it
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
Mm.
So we've got here on we're on the BBC here. A Chinese balloon capable of gathering intelligence. Says a
Mm.
U.S. official. A suspected Chinese surveillance balloon that the U.S. shot down this week was able to collect communication signals. A U.S. official has said. Fucking hell, man. Crazy shit. Like,
Yeah.
I know it, like, we're really good at doing spy stuff. I've got a really great idea for doing some spy shit. Why don't we get a fucking 200-foot balloon and just fire it across the sky in America? They'll never notice a giant white ball. All of those fucking UFO conspiracy theorists, they'll never be like, "Holy shit, what the fuck is that?"
Yeah. Like it's an episode of the bloody, what was the show? Prisoner? where he's not a number, he's a real man, where the bouncing
Oh
ball
yeah.
follows him down the beach. It's just that, isn't it? People having flashbacks. Like,
Oh god.
no.
You're not gonna fucking take me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like I
At
mean, we're
least I
not
feel vindicated that it was a balloon.
absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, just like Roswell, it was a dodgy spy surveillance balloon, just like in Roswell.
Well, just like Roswell, the government that put it up is saying that it was a weather balloon that
Yeah,
went off course.
yeah, it was a weather balloon that went off course, and we sent it straight to your house.
Yeah.
It's just like, what, we are not news pundits.
Mm.
Maybe we aren't necessarily schooled in the right fields to comment on this, but
No.
like, what did they expect?
Yeah. The only thing I can think is it was supposed to be like a couple of 1,000 feet higher.
Maybe. I mean, some of those videos are of it being quite low down, but that's balloons for you.
Yeah.
They go up high and then eventually they start to fall down.
Yeah. Using all that bloody helium.
Yeah, I mean, was it
Hmm.
helium or was
Who
it
knows?
some kind of alien helium?
Don't bring this back to aliens.
It
It's the
still might have been.
Chinese.
It might have been. Maybe the Chinese are aliens.
Thankfully, we can mark that off our conspiracies
Hmm.
from the other week as
Yep.
we know what it was now. It's not a UFO.
No, it's not a UFO. It's not a Tic Tac. It's not a gimbal. It's not a Go Fast. It's a balloon.
Yeah. Mm. Good.
But that's it for the news.
Yeah. I had one, didn't I? I had the comic.
Oh yes, of course.
So I'm still reading along to the Trek comics at the moment. And
Hmm.
last week, I think it was, we got Star Trek number 4. So far in the story, Ben Sisko's back and he's hunting down a god killer, someone who's killing crystalline entities, and the Q is running away and stuff like that. And this week we found out, or last week, we found out who the god
It was.
killer was.
Was it Christian Bale?
It wasn't Christian Bale. It was
God
not
damn
Thor the
it!
God Killer. It was
Oh,
even better for the what makes sense in Trek. It was the clone of Kalis, and he's going around saying, "Klingons
okay.
kill their gods. Why are they gods in this universe? We'll just go around and kill all these gods."
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's cool.
mm.
I like that.
Yeah. Bringing back this clone of Kalis, best thing this story's done, really.
That's cool. Yeah, man. Because of course the Klingons, they killed their gods because they were
Yep.
more trouble than they were worth.
Mm.
That's cool. Does it? Is he weird and bald and pale and slimy?
Kalis.
Yeah.
He's looking healthier than Gore.
Okay.
He looks pretty much like Kalis.
Mm. All right.
Yeah.
Um. That reminds me actually of my ancient astronaut theory of
Oh,
Klingon spaceflight. So I don't believe in ancient astronaut theory on Earth, but
but they killed the Turk, didn't they? What is it?
the
The
Herc.
Herc.
Yes.
They
What
killed some
if
Turkish guy.
they killed some Turkish guy that
Yeah.
and stole all of his tiles? No, they killed the Herc and they took their ships. What
Yeah.
if that's where the legend of of killing the
The
gods?
gods. Yeah.
What if
Yeah.
that's where it comes from?
Yeah. Maybe.
Ah.
I'm not up on my early Klingon timeline stuff. Maybe. Could be.
It's all on Star Trek Online.
Yeah. And that's
It's
why I'm
actually
not up to date with it.
very, very difficult levels. Very difficult
the,
mission.
the Herc
Actually,
stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
very difficult.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm. I would say I would get round to it, but I know I will not. Yeah. But I think that's news for this week, isn't it?
Yay!
Yay! News done. Anyway, should we talk about our main topic of the day?
Yay!
Yay! Which is Picard Season 3 is out this time next week. And we'll be talking about it this time next week. But we've also got all the previews and stuff like that to talk about this week for it.
Yeah.
So we had a final trailer, didn't we? What, a week, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah,
No
man.
idea.
During sports.
Sports, go sports!
Yay! Thanks for the sports.
Yeah. Whoever was playing, I hope they played well and enjoyed their game.
Yeah, I put money. I made a bet that everyone would have a good time.
Did it come through?
Yeah, it did.
Oh, good, very
I'm
good.
now a millionaire.
Ooh, very nice. Good odds then. Yeah. But we had that final trailer, and Terry Matalas went online and broke down every single second of it. Really,
He needs to shut the fuck up.
yeah.
Like, no offense, not giving Terry Matalas any shit, but like, he needs to fucking stop
Yeah.
giving away a lot.
Yeah. I think I'm tending to think now that this is a bit not damage control for this season, but knowing what a lot of the reactions were for Picard season 1 and 2, trying to get people back into it. Of don't worry, this isn't. I was going to say this isn't your grandpappy's Picard. This isn't your child's Picard season 1 and 2, and this is a completely different Picard. Look at all the cast that's back. Look at all the bridge crew who I name and show pictures of. Look at all the story beats I can allude to without breaking any sort of NDA.
Yeah, but it is a lot of like classic, pardon me, new Trek sound bites. Like, it's a 10-hour movie.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of the old and a little bit of the new. It's all the characters you love, but maybe they're not all completely safe.
Yeah. They're all completely safe. It's fine.
It's all the same old stuff that they always say.
Yeah.
For Picard especially.
However, they've also given at least the first 6 episodes to a couple of Picard haters. People who, say, oh, I can't believe New Trek, this isn't really Star Trek. How dare they? Those kinds of people. And the reactions back have so far been mostly positive. So
that hasn't are we sure that doesn't have anything to do with like, oh, thank you, sir, thank you for the morsels,
thank you for handing down something for free for me,
thank you for the attention.
Yeah, it could very well be. And if I wanted to put stock in anyone's opinions, it wouldn't be the people who are like, oh no, this isn't Star Trek. Star Trek is like this. I've seen Star Trek before and it's not like this. Those whiny bastards.
Star Trek is like, I made a TikTok comparing The Last Jedi to Star Trek. And one of the points I had was that like The Last Jedi tried to do something new with the franchise. And I listed all the different times that Star Trek has done something new. And like, that is what Star Trek does. It does new things every time.
Yeah.
You good?
I am.
Good?
It is.
Maybe some ice. Ice.
I know. I should have got. I don't even know if you're supposed to drink it straight. Presumably.
I'd looked at. I googled it when we were in the green room to see what it is, and it's you can drink anything straight.
Yeah, true.
Like, it's fine.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't want to put. I wasn't a major fan of Picard season 1, but I thought there was good stuff in it. Picard season 2, I thought was pretty poor overall, or very poor overall. But still, I don't want to put stock in those guys' opinions, really.
No, I'm more looking forward to be honest, I'm really looking forward to this season from everything that we've seen in all the trailers. We've got old characters, we've got something old and we've got something new. We've got like a new crew of the Titan. We've got all the old guys from TNG. We've got Honey Bunny from Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Moriarty.
We've got, so how many weeks ago it was, I threw out the theory that they'd announced that Beverly hadn't seen Picard for 30 odd years or whatever. And I said, there's only one twist that a writer knows if two characters haven't seen each other for, 10 plus years, is one of them's got a son. And there seems to be a character in this who's he played by? Ed Spielers from The Outlander.
The Eddie Redmayne looking motherfucker.
Yeah. Eddie Redmayne, but not so thin in the face. And I'm just like, if that's Picard's son, it's I called it without even seeing his face.
He's a real Etonian looking.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm all like my inherent and like anti-classist. Like, although it's somewhat classist, but I have a natural sort of disdain for the usual class of actors that our British Isles produces, because they are all fucking they are all of the upper crust. There's no good working class actors.
No.
And
yeah, in this, he's working with Bev, at least at the start, we know. But then working with, hopefully not fucking.
Working.
Yeah. But then we see in the trailer, or it's cut together in the trailer, like he's pulling a weapon on the TNG crew. So is he double crossing Bev? Is he Bev's son? Is he double crossing Bev and Bev's son? Who knows?
Is he working on the Genesis project with his mother?
Yeah.
Wrath of Khan.
Yeah. You told me to stay away, and I did.
Oh my God. My son, you Klingon bastards.
You killed my son. Yeah. So, it wouldn't be unusual for them to pull off a TOS movie for a season of Picard, since last season was pretty much saving the whales. Without any whales.
No.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's where we are with it. We also got a full announcement since last time we recorded, I think, of the captain. Captain Liam Shaw, played by Todd Stashwick, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, there had been a lot of speculation going around the internet that teased in the on Twitter. But yeah, we got Liam Shaw.
Yeah.
Love that.
He's clearly dead, isn't he?
Oh, he's fucked.
Yeah. Two episodes,
he's fucked.
maybe.
Yeah, he's fucked, because obviously, this whole season is just going to be a backdoor pilot for whatever show they do next, and obviously 7 of 9 is going to be the captain. She's the first officer now. She's going to be the captain. So yeah, he's fucked. Doomed.
Is that how you think they're backdoor piloting it then? Because obviously they've talked about handing over to TNG, the next generation.
Well, we've got like this. Have you seen? We've got on Trek Movie. We've got like a nice little roll call.
Yeah, Terry Matalas put it up on
the
Twitter,
Titan
didn't he?
crew. And so these guys are obviously the next generation. And we've got Geordie's kid. It kind of reminds me of like a fucking Suicide Squad intro. We've got like Ensign Sidney LaForge. Unlike her sister Alandra, she didn't want to build ships. She wanted to fly them.
Yeah.
We got Matthew Alice Murrah. Has served on the new Titan for the last 3 years, and exactly who you want at that station when you hear, "Give them everything we've got." We got Katana. She's got my back. You don't want to mess with her. Her sword captures the souls of her victims.
Yeah.
It's real cheesy. We got a Vulcan. We got a Hawaiian. Hold on. Halian.
Helene.
Mm-hmm.
Rings a
They
bell.
graduated at the top of their class and speak over 72 alien languages.
Yeah.
Nerd.
Nerd.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking that the handing over to TNG is at some point, whether it's early on or towards the end of the season, seeing the Enterprise F flying out and seeing some of the crew there, or maybe this crew, some of this crew transfer across. But I don't think TNG is going to be on the Titan A.
I think it will just because I'm just thinking of the name.
Yeah.
Like that sounds good. Star Trek Titan.
Mm,
That's a
yeah.
logo right there.
Yeah.
Have you seen the new series of Titan? Attack on Titan? No, Star Trek Titan.
Yeah. I don't know.
They can't call it Stargazer because it's gonna have Raffi in as well, and it's just gonna be like Stargazer, bloody Stargazer here,
Yeah.
Stargazer over here, eh?
But
Hey,
I think part of me
Lebanese.
thinks that they want to keep an Enterprise a focal point for at least one of the shows, if you know what I mean.
I don't think they're gonna. I don't think. What are they even gonna call it?
I don't know.
The next generation.
Yeah. TNG, the next generation.
The next generation.
Okay. Well, T and N then. TNNG.
TNNNN.
Yeah.
The next.
Yeah.
Just that. No generation. The next.
Yeah. I know. There's got to be a name for it. That's why writers are bloody paid. They can come up with like a title. God damn it. Because other than seeing the Enterprise F launch, what's it in the show for then? I'm thinking there's got to be a point
Fan
for it.
service. Fan
Yeah.
service. They're gonna blow it up.
No.
They're gonna blow it up. They're gonna blow it up. To say, it's like when they had when they had that Galaxy class ship in DS9 in the early days of the Dominion War. They
Yeah.
had that ship in the show purely to blow it up
Yeah.
to make everyone
To
think,
show how
oh
menacing the
fuck,
Dominion were. Yeah.
oh shit, they blew up something like the Enterprise. They're gonna blow up the Enterprise, and everyone's gonna go, oh shit.
Yeah. I know. Maybe it's just a story conceit to get all the TNG crew together. Like they're seeing off the Enterprise F, like Scotty and Kirk and whoever else saw off the Enterprise B under Harrington. Maybe they're there for that, but I don't know. I just think it's a bit of a waste if that's all it
Well,
is.
we might, like I said a few weeks ago, that in Star Trek Online, Paris, I think, is the captain of the Enterprise. I think. Oh no, he might be the
Paris.
captain of Voyager. Yeah, he might be the captain of Voyager. No, that's Tuvok. Hang on,
Yeah,
let me just double
two
check
bucks.
this.
So Paris is in the comic ongoing at the moment as the helmsman of the Theseus. I don't know what he is online. Christ knows. Avoiding his responsibilities with his child. That's what he's doing.
Oh yeah, no, it's an Andorian that's captain.
Yeah.
Meh. Anyway, so in one of his many tweets, someone asked if we were going to get any Janeway, and he was like, "There's going to be some Voyager stuff, but Janeway is strictly prodigy." Pardon me, prodigy bound. Here we go. Yeah, someone suggested. I really want to know if Chakotay and Janeway have a kid. Gross. Before anyone gets their hopes up, Janeway is exclusively on Star Trek Prodigy, but there are other Voyagers out there in the Alpha Quadrant.
I mean, I've said before about bringing Janeway back for this, so I agree with that Twitter user, or I'm questioning like that Twitter user. I think this might be a ploy. I'll only believe that she's not in it when all the episodes are out.
Yes.
Yeah.
God, he tweeted so much.
Hmm.
Some will cry fan service. I think that stuff is organic to the world. I think he means the world of Star Trek, but it is also the world of the real world.
Yeah.
The real. Yeah.
I know, I can't remember if it was, we talked about it last time, but he'd responded to someone saying, will the Enterprise have, or will the Federation ships have the recreation of, Majel Barrett's voice? And he said no.
Yeah, sad.
Yeah. And it was gonna, he said it was a money and time thing, and that he'd rather spend the money getting people in the show rather than trying to recreate a voice. Which,
That's fair enough.
yeah, fine, I
Um,
suppose.
I mean, I don't know how much money it would cost. Like, there's a lot of AI chatbot, like voice bots and stuff out there.
Yeah, and half of them. I think the trouble is that with it's a lot of the recordings of her voice aren't the best. You know, if you try and take TOS recordings of her voice, it's crap. Some of TNG's crap as well. She did that, or she did some of that recording her voice for like not necessarily sat navs or whatever, but making a whole, not photonic. God help me out here. A whole copy of her voice for like recreation, but apparently that wasn't finished.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, she did Voyager as well, and Voyager did like everything digitally. So maybe,
yeah.
maybe.
Mm.
But that trailer's awesome.
Yeah, it's a cool trailer. It's a cool trailer. And I am, as we say, looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like a long time since we've had Trek, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And
It's only
back
been
in
a
the
few
'90s,
weeks.
this would have been barely into our wait for the next season of whatever. Yeah.
I've got some notes on the trailer.
Yep.
Only like the first half of the trailer,
Mm-hmm.
because I got distracted. And you'll see what I got distracted by. So first up, bosun's whistle. The trailer opens with a bosun's whistle, like in the Undiscovered Country.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. We've got Beverly giving it trust no one. Conspiracy.
Yeah.
Conspiracy, anyone?
Mm.
Do we reckon we're gonna get a little bit of, because then we have potentially Picard's potentially son
Yeah.
saying, is anyone the person that you used to know? Now that could be one of two things: either conspiracy, everyone's got slugs up their butts,
Mm.
or that could just be a response to Picard saying one of those kind of generic reverie lines of like, he's not the man I used to know.
Yeah. It's Gautier. Gautier is
Yeah.
having an appearance in Picard.
Yes. Um, Honey Bunny, Amanda Plummer, when she says Picard, she's like, Picard.
Picard.
She's proper doing French.
Mm.
Oh, hell. But it's like it's so like when someone pronounces it quesadilla in the middle of
Mm.
ordering food. It's like, oh yeah, I'll have the quesadilla. with a side of fries.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, it's good to see you again, Picard. How's it going?"
Yeah.
Geordie does not look happy in any image.
No. Well,
In
presumably his daughter's been taken into a situation where, you know,
she's
if
been put in care.
if your kid was took to danger or even killed, let's say, one of your kids, then
But it's not even the one that's played by his real daughter, so he doesn't.
aren't they both played by his?
No, one of them is played by
Okay.
someone with a different last name.
Oh, okay.
And yet Misha Burton is not in it as much.
Yeah, she is in the trailer at some point. But one of the daughters gets her face put against a force field, doesn't she? Like bashed into
Shit.
a force field by the bad guys.
Oh shit.
Which we still don't know anything about the bad guys, really.
No, we just know that they may or may not be sympathetic.
Yeah.
Which is something that no one's ever done, especially these days. No one's ever tried to make the audience sympathize with the villain. They definitely didn't do it in Black Panther or make a whole movie about the Joker or any of that. Here's where I trailed off. Holy shit, Amanda Plummer is Christopher Plummer's daughter. Honey Bunny is Chang's daughter.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
We knew this. We've talked about this. And Terry Matalas has talked about, she's bringing a lot of her father's like sort of acting into this one.
Oh, she's going to be quoting Shakespeare.
If only.
She's definitely going to be quoting Shakespeare in that big ass fucking chair.
Yeah. It makes sense for her to quote to Picard. Picard.
Picard. Picard. Have you ever read Shakespeare? Have you ever heard Shakespeare in the original Klingon?
Yeah.
Picard. Maybe she's doing that to take the piss. Maybe she's like, that's not cool. That's not cool, honey bunny.
Yeah.
Can't make
no, that's not cool, accents. Picard. Like my family's like proper French, and your English French family moved back to a French villa, and suddenly you're all French.
Yes.
No.
No. Sacre bleu. There's been some speculation that that guy, that Eddie Redmayne looking fool is Picard's son. There's also been some speculation around why Worf has adopted a pacifist philosophy, regarding PTSD after the Dominion War and wanting to be a peaceful envoy for the Klingon Empire. But when are we getting the Worf comic, the Star Trek Defiant comic?
Not for a couple of weeks. It's not going to be out before Picard.
So maybe we're going to find out. Maybe something's going to go down in that comic that's going to result in him adopting a pacifist philosophy.
That's if the writers of Picard talk to the writers of the comic, because they don't necessarily live in the same canon, do they?
Not necessarily.
No, no celery.
No
celery.
Here's one for you. He goes from passing fist to pacifist. How about that?
Yeah.
How about that for a joke? Does that count as a joke?
That counts as a joke.
Yeah.
And they've said, haven't they already, that he's not going to be totally pacifist. He's just going to be peace first rather than his TNG. Let's fire. These guys haven't hailed us back yet, sir. No, we'll fire. I suggest quantum torpedoes.
Oh my god. We're getting... Captain, we're being hailed. Should we burn their house down?
Yeah. Picard, Worf's probably the character I'm most looking forward to seeing, really, out of all the TNG crew.
Yeah. You know, I mean, to say he's adopted a pacifist philosophy, there is a few shots of him in fight scenes. So you know, maybe now that he's become a pacifist, he'll actually win a fight.
He won plenty of fights in DS9.
He got his ass kicked for a lot. You know, like
Yeah,
the same thing with like when they blew up the Galaxy class ship. Like beating Worf in a
yeah.
fight was always used as like a plot device to show how hard someone was.
Yeah, that was TNG, but by DS9, like he had that episode where he was in the prison camp, and it was just like next challenger, next
Yeah,
challenger.
that was pretty cool. That
Yeah,
was cool. You're right. Yeah.
one of
Mm,
the best Worf episodes. One of the best episodes of DS9, really.
absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a shot of like Starfleet HQ or something blowing up and falling into the ground.
So what happens in every JJ movie?
Yeah, yeah, that thing that happens in every JJ movie.
Yeah,
Uh, we're also going to get the Enterprise A crashing into the planet.
the Enterprise,
Uh,
eh?
yeah, just like a
Oh,
JJ movie.
oh, just like
Uh,
a JJ movie. Let's keep that going. Crush them
yeah,
every single time.
completely unrelated. Like they're just like they're doing whatever, and then they're just like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
Like,
Oh
what
my
the
god!
fuck's going on there? Like,
One of the
un-
museum ships is crashing into the planet.
unrelated. We don't have time.
Yeah.
Um,
We do see a it looks like Bev's medical ship crash into a ship that's probably the Titan. And we
mm,
also see another Federation ship that isn't the Titan or Bev's ship um, getting destroyed on screen as well. So,
mm,
a couple of Federation ships getting crap beaten out of them this season.
yeah. I'm just scrubbing through the trailer now.
I'm doing the same.
Um, yeah, there he is, Eddie Redmayne looking fucker. What's this Bev in a pod all about?
It looks like she's been thrown into stasis, really, which fine, yeah,
Do we reckon that that's like her way of escaping whatever the fight that she's in is about?
yeah.
Uh,
That or she got put in there by the people that she doesn't trust or whatever. Who knows?
well, I mean, you wouldn't trust them. If people
Yeah.
going around putting people into pods like that,
Mm.
they're dodgy. I don't think I don't think Moriarty is in the same environment as Law. Hmm. I'm so curious as to what's going on with Moriarty.
Yeah.
I mean, I wonder if the bad guy has gotten Moriarty's program out to devise her plan. That would be a good move.
Yeah. Just bring back all your, biggest foes or whatever. But it looks like we're going to call him Law for this, but they haven't announced that it's Law is working with Picard and Co. There was a bit more of him that this trailer where he's, saying, "Ah, that's life," and stuff like that, and he's having a
I
good
mean,
old smile.
well, was B4? B4 was in a draw. B4 was in a draw.
Before in a draw,
More like B draw.
yeah.
Um,
Which I suppose now that the other Soong type androids exist, they could go back and go like, "Oh no, you just needed to flick this switch here, and look, he works now."
that was such a stupid name. B4. Like he's
Yeah.
there in his workshop making him, and his
Mm,
wife comes in and she's like, "Oh, what are you gonna call him?" B4, and she's like, "B4 what?" And he's like, "I
yeah.
don't know."
It was originally, or he was originally called B9, like benign, which would have fit the story better
Yeah, but like that was a bit
because he's like a
harsh.
Trojan horse.
Harsh.
He's a Trojan horse in the movie, isn't he? Really? So
Yeah.
B9 would have worked.
Um, But wouldn't it be funny if like if B9 B4 did like when he comes into full consciousness, what if he's a prick too?
Yeah.
Just like, yeah, like Data gave me his fucking mental engrams or whatever to so that I could fully realize consciousness. And it turns out I'm also a
I'm a
dick.
prick. Yeah. And I talk with this accent. Oh.
Mm,
I
I'm a
mean,
fucking wanker.
yeah. I've seen people like say, oh, if it's Law or whoever, whatever robot it is, it seems to be smiling. But Data died with his emotion chip. But Data didn't die with his emotion chip. There's a deleted scene in Nemesis, and the comics afterwards show that B4 properly became Data when they went, oh, we've got Data's emotion chip here. Let's just
Yeah.
plug this into B4. And then he became Data again.
Yeah, and then he captained the Enterprise.
Yeah.
When in the Countdown comics. That Countdown comic was great.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. But also like Law smiled all the time. Law always had emotions.
Yeah.
That's why he was evil, because
Mm.
as we all know, emotions make you evil.
Yeah.
That's why we're evil.
We've also got Law's Tick.
Yeah. What
Yeah. Honestly, I can't be Law.
are you talking about?
No. Yeah. So yeah, but I am really looking forward to it. I don't think I have much more to say about it, whatever. But yeah, should be good. Should be interesting. Do we know if next week is a double bill or is it just a single?
Oh, I don't know. Let's give that a fucking Google. No, we got a no, it's one episode a week. It's 2
Okay.
days after Saint Valentine's Day.
Ooh.
So yeah, it's a
Oh.
bullshit holiday.
Yeah.
It's
That's
a
a point.
bullshit holiday.
I forgot to say, outside of the US, this and Lower Decks are going to be on Prime and Paramount Plus. So if
Watch
you've
it on
got,
Prime.
yeah, watch it on Prime. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it does mean for people who don't have Prime, but have Sky, I think they get Paramount Plus for free.
Yeah,
So you can still watch it if you've got Sky.
cool. Just looking at some of the directors of the episodes. Everyone who directs episodes, they all direct 2 episodes each. Doug Erniakowski, Doug does the first 2. Then we've got Jonathan Frakes doing 2, Dan Liu doing 2, Deborah Kampmeyer, and then Terry Metalis all doing 2 episodes. It's pretty good.
They didn't want Frakes there, but he like bust in the door. He had his directing cap on, and he was like, "No,
He's just like,
you'll
no,
let me direct.
You'll let me direct." It's like, oh shit, if we let him direct, he's got to do 2. I will direct 2.
Yeah. They're like, no, Mr. Frakes. We're only doing a 2-episode season. This is just for we're just filming other ones for our own home
I'll do them
entertainment.
both.
Yeah. Anyway, we got anything else to say on this?
Nah, man.
Nah.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah, excited. This time next week, we will have seen it. Ooh.
Ah!
Yay. So check back, next week, whenever you see this for coverage.
Hell yeah.
Hoo-hoo.
Yep, we'll be providing the same A grade content. Remember all the content. Remember when I made that suicide joke about that mouse?
Yeah.
It's good
And
times.
I remember that Suicide Squad joke as well.
Hey, that was good stuff.
Yeah. But until next week,
live long and prosper, motherfuckers.
Live long and prosper. Peace and long life. Double dumbasses. Links to Instagrams, whatever, socials, blah, 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 below. Like, subscribe, do the things. do all that. But bye, goodbye. We're going.
Ah!